Shalom friends, this is Daniel again with Bless Israel Network, and this is another episode of Eye on Israel. Haven't spoken to you for a little while. We've been extremely busy. I apologize. The High Holy Day season in Israel, Tabernacles, Feast of Trumpets, Yom Kippur, etc., was very busy. We had a number of guests, and then we had to prepare for our trip, which we are currently on. And as you can see by the background, I'm not speaking to you from our traditional home location. We are currently in the beautiful state of Florida, staying with some dear friends on a ministry-related trip. And the reason I wanted to check in with you today was to give you a little bit of an update and maybe clarify something that might be a bit confusing to you. If you've been watching the news lately about Israel, you may have seen that there have been protests, and the Orthodox Jews are protesting. What are they protesting? They're protesting being drafted. Well, I want to unpack a little bit about this whole Orthodox situation. There are Orthodox, and then there are Orthodox. What do I mean? Well, first, let me show you a photograph. Take a look at this. Now, that's probably your stereotypical view of Orthodox Jews, with the hats, the long hair, the peyotes, the beards, the dark clothing, and so on and so forth. That's a fairly typical representation of Orthodox Jews. And yet, let me show you another photograph of Orthodox Jews. Take a look at this. Did you see right? Did you see stuff in there that looked a little confusing to you? I bet you did. Take a look at this picture. Again, did you see what appeared to be Orthodox Jews that had anti-Israel stuff? Anti-Zionist stuff? You did. You're not in the Twilight Zone. Take a look at this picture. There you see Jews being arrested by Israeli police. They're protesting being drafted. Now wait a minute. These are Orthodox Jews that believe in Torah, haven't yet realized Yeshua is their Messiah, so we need to keep them in prayer about that. But nonetheless, these are Orthodox Jews, believe in Torah, fulfilling everything that they believe God has asked them to do as far as Orthodox Judaism is concerned, doing all the appropriate things, legalistically I might add, because of course these poor Jews still believe that only obeying Torah without Messiah, without Yeshua, is going to save them. So we still need to keep praying for them. But anti-Zionist Jews, anti-Israel Jews, pro-Palestinian, what the heck is with that? Well, that's what I want to try to explain to you. There are what is known as ultra Orthodox. You remember the Essenes that wanted to live a completely pure life and separated themselves from the rest of the Jews and went down and lived in caves near Qumran and by the Dead Sea and so on, and we all know about the Dead Sea Scrolls, right? Well, these ultra-Orthodox Jews are somewhat similar in that they do not want to assimilate into current modern Israeli society. They do not believe the government of Israel has any authority over them. They do not believe the state of Israel has the right to exist. They believe that the only authority they should be answering to is that of Messiah, is that of God the Almighty, and that no man has the authority to set up a country, a state, a government that they are supposed to be law-abiding citizens in. So therefore, they are protesting being drafted into the army. They also do not work. They study Torah all day long in a yeshiva, which is like the Jewish version of a seminary. They do not believe and they do not work for a living. And yet, they don't seem to have any problem being supported by Israeli taxpayers, right? So there's a little bit of irony there. They're protesting the very government that is supporting them. So they really haven't done themselves a whole lot of good, and they really haven't warmed themselves up to Israeli society as a whole. But it's even crazier than just the fact that they don't believe that the government has any authority. Look at this picture. You know who that guy is on the right? His name is Ishmael Haniyeh. He has been the longtime leader of Hamas in the Gaza Strip. Yes, you heard correctly, Hamas. These ultra-Orthodox Jews are so far into their beliefs that the government of Israel has no right to exist, that they do not have to obey the laws of the state of Israel, that they are even willing to go and cozy up with Israel's hated enemies. They've actually even gone to Iran and been interviewed on national television in Iran, talking about the evils of the state of Israel. Yes, I know, this is cuckoo, this is crazy, it makes no sense, but trust me when I tell you, they are fervently passionate about their beliefs. So they consider themselves to be, as I said, the purest form of Orthodox Jews. So the next time that you see photographs of what appear to be Orthodox Jews, you might have to look twice, because if you look closer, they might have a little badge on them that says something like, "I hate Zionism," or "Down with Israel," or what have you. I know it sounds a little bit strange, but I think their hearts are in a place where they believe what they are doing is right and proper and godly, but do they have the right to live off of taxpayers in Israel and not work and not contribute? There's a little bit of irony there, that they're living in the only Jewish country in the world, being supported by the Jewish taxpayers in Israel, and yet they are unwilling to serve the country in any way, shape, or form. So these poor ultra-Orthodox Jews, as if the regular ultra-Orthodox Jews didn't need prayer about Yeshua being Messiah, these guys are even further along that road. So we need to lift them up. There is an organization called Nutera Kartra. That is pretty much the formal name of the organization that they belong to, and yet they are so committed to God and God alone that they have gone out and put themselves in basically this booth of isolation, and even the traditional Jews in Israel don't really appreciate them. And now maybe you can understand why, and now maybe you understand what the difference is between an Orthodox Jew and an ultra-Orthodox Jew. I hope this has been enlightening, even though it might seem a little strange, but nonetheless, I hope it's opened your eyes to something that you were unaware of before. And if this message blesses you, then please feel free to go to our website, contact us, send us your thoughts, sign up for our mailing list, and if God leads you, please consider supporting our ministry. God bless you for now.